Good afternoon to the people of the East and abroad. Herein opens the 5th Ethereal Court of the Consules of the East. Your Majesties.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on what has become a chilly winter day. It is nice to have the opportunity to gather, even if it's ethereally, with the populace. And I would remind you, if you stick around till the end, I believe we are continuing the largesse challenge, so we will have our word in the reminder of where to get to that link, but at the end of court.
It is so wonderful to be able to continue the courts the way we do now, just so that we can recognize all the great works of the people of the East and their service to our kingdom. I like to say now basically a happy new year to everybody, and we're starting off 2021, at least in the SCA, with some fabulous things, with things going on. So please, let's continue with our court today.
Before we roll into our awards, I'd like to just take a moment to remember my champion, Earl Horick, who passed away a week ago. I know I am still feeling that loss. I know the kingdom still is.
To our honored dead.
Thank you. And as Consul,
Your Majesties would call before them, Amaline Ki Dosnui.
Hi, Your Majesties. I'm Amaline Kidonwa.
good evening.
I'm really liking the outfit.
Thank you.
Based on what I've heard, I'm guessing that you made that yourself.
I did. I did not make the veil, but I did make the under pieces.
I'm always impressed by anyone who makes garb well.
Especially since I can't. A lot of people are actually making us really nice clothes.
In late period. But I mean, when I say makes garb well, you were the Baron's choice at St. Eligius, weren't you?
I was.
Very active in the fiber arts community, but also have been working as martial in training and an MOL for the fencing community.
Yes, I'm a martial in training and MOL for the Shire of Midland Vale.
All right.
That's fantastic. That, I mean, it indicates a real commitment and in the diversity of areas, and we would love to be able to recognize that this evening by raising you to the ranks of our nobility and awarding you arms.
Thank you, Your Majesties. It's a great honor.
So if I may, for the first time, Lady Amelie.
It is said that love is the water of life. Amaline Ki Danois is one who lives by these words. A member of the House of the Lotus, a marshal in training, a minister of the lists. Through all of these does she freely give the water of love and service to those around her, and yet still she saves some of this precious water for herself, which she uses to better her skills in the fiber arts. In recognition of these gifts, do we, Tindal and Alberic, co-consuls of the East, name Amaline Ki Danois a lady of our court and award unto her these arms: Sable, a panther couchant argent, spotted and collared azure incensed proper, on a chief dovetailed argent, 3 roses slipped and leaved azure. Done at our 5th Ethereal Court, January of Anna Societatis 55. Scroll by Kenrick Aubrey.
For Lady Amaline Nuis, Lady of the Eastern Court. Viva!
Viva!
Viva! Viva! Viva! Viva! Their Majesties would have before them Agnes Marie de Calais.
Greetings, Your Majesties.
How are you doing?
I am doing well. And yourself? Oh, I am the Honorable Lady Agnes Marie de Calais.
Yes. And really, when I see you, one of the first things I think about is the tremendous amount of work you have done for the youth of our kingdom and the society. You are a vital part of the virtual Tiger Camp. You teach classes for the youth
And has attended multiple reigns, I believe.
I would say it's accurate to say that you are constantly serving your local groups, which is the foundation of the kingdom and keeps us the gears moving. Now, when I think of a gear, making a circle right there, I think perhaps the best way to recognize that is by inducting you into our Order of the Silver Wheel.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you.
You do a tremendous amount of work, and it should be recognized.
I love working with the kids.
And we are thankful to have you.
Agnes Marie, her ever-ready hand, supports the realm, adorning it with grace, her wit and wisdom carving out the space, so young minds by her tutelage expand. She offers tales fantastical and grand. Who dares declare that Earth cavorts through space? Agnes Marie, her ever-ready hand supports the realm, adorning it with grace. So readily she served her queen's command, to aid the court or serve from cups and trays. With this roundel of silver, take your place among your order, evermore to stand. Agnes Marie, whose ever-ready hand supports the realm, adorning it with grace. Bestowed upon her by Magnus Tindal and Alberic, Consules of the East. Words by Sir Drake Orenwood. Scroll by Colette d'Avignon.
Thank you.
For Agnes, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Wheel. Vivat!
Vivat!
Vivat! Vivat!
Sail!
Woo!
One of us!
Their Majesties would call before them Eleanor Redpath.
What did you do?
Yeah, I got here just in time.
I'm not here.
Eleanor here.
Good evening. So, you are a very familiar face. And I recognize you mostly because I see you working. On
the fencing field as a fencing marshal.
On the fencing, I don't think I've ever been to an event where Eleanor was there that she wasn't there before me and after me doing some kind of work. I'd also like to talk about the fact that she made fencing tunics for her barony.
Yeah. That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's important because it raises morale. It has a real effect.
It does.
And I think we should recognize the effect that Eleanor has on the kingdom through her work and her service. And this evening, induct her into the Order of the Silver Wheel.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored.
It is a pleasure to recognize someone who is doing so much.
I don't ever see her not doing anything. So it's really, really important for us to honor you with this.
Yeah.
This lady that hails from the barony of Carillon. Early she arrives and late she stays at local events, her intuition guiding her to make sure no task is left uncompleted. She gives much of her time making sure the fencers of the barony are well trained, her dedication showing more by becoming a marshal. Of projects, she spearheads the creation of new fencing tunics so they may be seen as a formidable group on the battlefield. Let's not forget her dedication to the royal nurseries in the reigns of Brennan and Keelan, ensuring they need not worry about their children while tending to royal duties. Therefore, by our wish, we, Tindal and Alberic, consuls of the Eastern Realm, do induct the noble Eleanor Redpath into our Order of the Silver Wheel, Anno Societatis 55, at the 5th Ethereal Court of the Eastern Consuls.
Thank you.
For Eleanor, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Wheel, Viva!
Viva!
Viva! Viva! Their Majesties call before them Simon Talbot.
Your Majesty, I am here. Majesties, I am here.
Good evening. I knew Simon would be here because he's part of the Kingdom Web team. Yes.
And it is my honor to record your Majesties right now.
Yes, and you do a lot of editing for us for these virtual courts, which is mostly appreciated by me and by His Majesty.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
He's also a web minister.
A very humble and provincial web minister.
Yeah. This is a tremendous amount, especially right now, a tremendous amount of service that is keeping the kingdom connected, that is enabling us to do what we want to do. And what I want to do right now is to induct you into the Order of the Silver Wheel.
I am speechless with gratitude, Your Majesties.
It is an easy thing to recognize someone who is doing so much so well. It's our pleasure to do this.
Be it known to all that we, Tindal and Alberic, have seen many works and webbings of one Lord Simon Talbot. As such, by our hand at the 5th Ethereal Court, held in the 2nd plague year, he should, henceforth, walk among the Order of the Silver Wheel. Scroll by Anne de Bastion.
Thank you both, Your Majesties. I will try to live up to the standards of the Order as best as I can.
And we know that you will.
Thank you.
For Simon, newest companion of the Order of the Silver Wheel, Viva! Viva! Viva!
She did this to me. But she said, you should wear a tunic. I'm like, oh, okay.
Uh-huh. You got to take those hints.
I can work it out for when it happens to anyone except me. Thank you, Your Majesties.
Very welcome.
And thank you, Web Team.
Thank you.
Their Majesties would see before them their Chancellor Minor, Hugoline the Delicate.
Hi, good evening, Your Majesties.
Oh.
How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
So I hear you were going to stay on as our East Kingdom Chancellor Minor. Is this true?
Yes, I'll be staying on for one more year. Thank you.
Excellent. Would you like to give an oath of fealty?
Yes, thank you. I swear as a greater officer of state by the past crowns of the East and the manes of my ancestors, and to my own honor and unbreakable oath that I will follow and respect the leadership of the Crown of the East. I will promise to serve under the standards of my allotted duties and not break them unless discharged by my crown. I will serve the East faithfully and with all due respect to society law, the kingdom, and subjects of the East. So say I, Hugoline the Delicate, Chancellor Minor.
I, Albert.
And I, Tindal, hear your words and know them to be true. And for our part, promise to heed your counsel, to help you grow your office and its impact within the kingdom, and give you a place at our hearth in times of peace and war, and offer you the protection of the crown.
Until the world ends. So say I, Alberic.
And I, Tindal,
Consuls of the East.
Thank you so much, Majesties.
Thank you for staying on.
For Hugoline and her continued service to the Kingdom of the East, Viva! 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 Viva!
Hello, everyone.
This is May of Kingdom Central. I just wanted to let all of the local centrals know that the revision, the update to the Kingdom Central's handbook draft will be ready at the beginning of February. Please keep an eye on your official email boxes so the notice that the draft is ready for your review. Connected with that, I'd like to hold an office hours session with all local centrals and regional centrals and the special subject deputy centrals on Sunday, February 21st, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's in the afternoon ahead of Ethereal Court. Sunday, February 21st, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern ahead of Ethereal Court. And we can discuss the draft as well as how the groups are doing and how the Kingdom Office can support the local groups. Thank
you. Their Majesties would call Margaret Sevenstair before them.
Your Majesties, I am Margaret Sevenstair.
Let's talk about some of the fantastic things that you do. You're a bard. Yes. You are a herald.
Yes.
An autocrat.
Yes.
Active in the ANS community.
Yes.
Possibly responsible for one of the more impressive pieces of garb that our predecessor Marguerite wore at the Black Rose Ball.
Yes.
Yes. This is a fantastic amount of work. This is a fantastic amount of passion. We would make sure that others know of your passion, your dedication. We would raise you to the ranks of our nobility and award you arms this evening.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
By our hands at our 5th Ethereal Court, we, Tindal and Alberic, Consules of the mighty Kingdom of the East, call forth this day one known as Margaret Sevenstair, she who tenaciously tries anything, creating clothing for the consules, engaging in English country dance, saying sooth with knotted snakes, raising Ravensbridge into a community, blacksmithing with Brand in the Guild, concocting cordials with Mistress Carol, Kumahimo crafting to honor her first barony, and taking up tablet weaving, filking for the love of a well-turned phrase, presenting a dress purpur to a queen, to thusly award her arms borne by her alone. Signed January 2021, Anno Societatis 55, scroll by Slanya Ben Ronan.
So if I may, for the first time, Lady Marguerite.
For Lady Margaret, newest lady of the Eastern Court. Vivat!
Vivat!
Vivat! Their Majesties would call before them Brand Aronson. Their Majesties would have Brand Aronson before them.
I believe he's having a mute problem, Your Majesty.
Oh, all right. I hate it when that happens.
I do too.
Because I like talking. But he is here and he knows that we want to talk to him, yes?
Yes, he is gesticulating frantically at the ether.
All right. Well, since he's here and he knows we're talking about him, I'm just going to start talking about how much he contributes to this kingdom.
But we don't actually get to see him, and neither does the kingdom if he does not appear on the screen. So we could talk all we want. They will be going to blank screen because right now we see the lovely tiger with an ice cream bowl.
That's our disembodied voice telling us that he's here.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So on the technical side, do we have someone that has found him so that we could see his reaction if we talked and we couldn't hear him?
Yes, Your Majesties.
I was going to say, I believe Vika can still pin him.
Okay.
And so you will still get reactions from him. He just won't be able to vocalize.
Fantastic. It'll be like a fun surprise, like seeing the scrolls later. Excellent. All right. So let's talk about someone who cooks food well, and cooks food often.
Does a lot of blacksmithing work.
This is Guildmaster for the Blacksmiths Guild, and is also a seneschal. I know you appreciate that.
I do, having been a seneschal myself.
You know what I appreciate? He's also a video editor.
Yes.
Has helped out on a lot of the attendant videos, which now more than ever is one of my favorite ways to contribute myself as well. So we're talking service.
It is.
So
I believe we must do a thing for him. So we were going to induct you into the Order of our Silver Wheel.
How shall the consuls bestow ample honor for the venerable service the East received from Brand Droton Aronson Nefsbrot? Humbly in both hearth and forge has broad-handed Brand given freely of his skill. In many a crowded feast hall, as feeders of ravens return home from the whale road with growling bellies and empty horns, it's Nefsbrot who tends the pits, cooking both mead and meat, that all may have their fill and be content. In the fierce heat of coal fire, slow burning, iron bending, does Brand teach, offering his skill long gathered to those who gather in the way of the one-eyed, for not even plague can keep him thence. In their wisdom do Tindal and Alberic gift the silver wheel to Brand Nefsbrot Aronson for his service and mind's worth, given to the kingdom in this Anno Societatis 55, the 5th Ethereal Court of the Eastern Consuls. Words by Margaret Sevenstair, embroidery by Arnora Kettelsdottir.
For Brand, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Wheel, Vivat! 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 Your Majesties would now call before them Tessa Maria de Siena.
Hi, it's Tessa. Shenanigans.
I recognize her from working the gate at Great Northeastern War. What else does she do?
She's currently our web liaison. And not only is she our web liaison, she actually takes care of our webpage.
Well, she's doing a great job.
Yes.
I see her all the time at staff meetings. And she's also the web minister for Malagictia, I believe.
That's correct.
And just all around person who works.
Helping.
You got it.
Well, go ahead.
No?
I was just going to say thank you. Did you have another idea?
I do. We are now going to induct you into the Order of our Silver Wheel.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry. Sorry. Thank you very much. And I still call shenanigans on all of the web people, but that's okay.
It's important to have friends, and it's important to have friends that want to see you recognized and surprised. It's a vicious circle.
And you can still call shenanigans because, of course.
Yeah.
That's the only fun way to do it.
Who weaves in thread of aether with aplomb, and on whose skill a grateful province thrives. Who guides words sent fast as light, whose some, when checked on copper wings, shall sure arrive. Eastern consuls seek ones who serve with calm, to name as silver wheels, and thus decide. Tessa Maria de Siena to court comes, for lauds upon her brow shall be archived. Tindal and Alberic for deeds diffuse, in AS 55 proclaim this news. Words by Nicol McDonough, scroll by Embla Neuterdottir.
For Tessa, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Wheel, Vivat. Vivat. Vivat.
Yay!
Woo. Their Majesties call before them Juliana Angelina.
Hi, Your Majesties.
Hello. How are you?
Pretty good. Yourselves?
We're doing fantastic.
Having a great evening.
Having fantastic. Now, this person does a lot of work with our youth,
which is one of my favorite things. My understanding is that you traveled to become a youth marshal.
I did.
Are you the Tirmaran deputy
Yes.
marshal?
Yes, I am.
That's fantastic. That is, first of all, I love people that are able to incorporate activities for the youth. It keeps families showing up, but also young fighters are scary to me, but also the future of where we're going. And I want to just personally say thank you for all of that work. I keep hearing again and again that you're actively seeking ways to support the youth and youth activities. And it's just so vital to keeping the kingdom vibrant. So first, just thank you very much for everything that you're doing.
Thank you, Your Majesties.
it is greatly appreciated because working with the children in our activities and keeping them up to speed, especially in the martial, it keeps them active and it keeps them engaged.
Now, at this time, I would like to indicate to other people how much work you're doing and how much we appreciate that by inducting you into our Order of the Silver Wheel, that others may see your service and know that it has enriched the kingdom.
Thank you.
Some rise on fortune's wheel by simple luck, others by personal fortitude. Today we recognize Juliana Angelia, whose accent in our eyes comes through personal drive, ability, and confidence. Juliana is a heavy list fighter, a noble occupation, and one who saw the need for youth combat in Tirmara. Determined to gain the skill of youth combat martial, Juliana traveled every other week for over 2 years, finding events to gain martial training, and this without 2 wheels or 4. This fighter brings knowledge of rules, the energy, the enthusiasm, and ready armor fixes to list young combatants. Juliana has mentioned numerous marshals in training for the kingdom's young warriors. Juliana Angelia stands now as a member of the Order of the Silver Wheel, with the right to bear such arms as you may devise. Done this day by the Eastern Consules, Tindal and Alberic, at our 5th Ethereal Court, Anno Satilis 55. Scroll done by Elizabeth Greenleaf.
Your Majesties.
You're most welcome.
For Juliana Angelina, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Wheel.
Vivat!
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 Hey! Thank you, everybody.
So we would like to apologize for the technical difficulties about hearing our seneschal talk about the upcoming things that she needed to talk about. It'll be fixed when this gets edited and posted to the YouTube channel later on. This is also a good time for us to talk about Crown A&S. Thank you for all who are entering and want to become our champions.
And I mean, this is the procrastinator's moment to shine, because you can still get your pictures in for display and for the competition today, right?
Excellent.
So like if you've been putting it off, now's the time to go, right? I also wanted to just mention, we saw a fantastic silver wheel go out to Brander, and that silver wheel came to him from a Laurel in North Shield, Master Danner, who I'm sure he would have told us about
if we could have
heard him. Technical difficulties are fantastic. Back to more court?
Back to more court.
Their Majesties would see before them Katrina Nishihan. They know she's here. I saw her on screen myself.
Hello, Your Majesties. We're unmuted now.
Hello, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing wonderfully, covered in snow.
As are we.
Indeed.
The background, it's very, very nice over there.
So I understand you've been an active member of Stone March for a few years now.
It's a wonderful place to drop into, very friendly folk.
Done a lot of gift baskets.
There was some burqa action going on there. Yes, indeed.
Oh, as we're talking about burqa, I understand that you actually also helped with the burqa site tokens.
Yes, very exciting. Lots of heated pewter pouring. I'm actually wearing one of them on my my beads here.
Yeah,
Oh, very nice, very nice.
those were fantastic. I really enjoyed those.
Yep.
Susan did a beautiful job with the carving of them, and it was really fun to be part of it. Yep.
So you also teach, yes?
I did a class this year during the COVID Zoom year.
I heard it's teaching of herbalism. Is that right?
Yes. Medicinal and magic uses over the many years, modern and medieval.
This is fantastic. It sounds like you are doing a tremendous amount to contribute to your local group, the kingdom, the enjoyment and learning that everyone gets to do especially now. And so what we would like to do to recognize all of your dedication and all of your effort is to raise you to the ranks of our nobility and award you arms this evening.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
So if I may introduce you for the first time as Lady Katrina.
Thank you. Someone told me a while ago that gaining your arms means that if you left, you would be missed. So I'm very honored to be in the ranks of armed.
Yeah, that is a lovely way to put it. And we hope that you stay around.
Indeed, I will. Thank you so much, Your Majesties. It's a great honor to be with you tonight.
In the 55th year of our society, Consules Alberic and Tindal came upon Katrina Nishian in her garden. As she sat embroidering, she spoke to a group around her, explaining the herb's many uses. The consuls were so moved by her helpfulness and knowledge, they stayed and listened and learned much. For her wisdom, they awarded her arms at their court during the winter frosts. Scroll by Aridin Gio.
Their Majesties would see before them Baron Declan Goba.
Hello, Your Majesties.
Hello, Your Excellency. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Let's talk blacksmithing.
Okay.
I hear that you are quite an accomplished blacksmith with a simple beginning, that someone who has grown to become skilled with your craft.
I don't know if I'd say skilled, but I like to think that I'm learning. I don't know if I'll ever actually be skilled. I'll just always be learning and just doing better and better, hopefully.
That's a goal. That's a very good goal to have. We also heard you make a very interesting sticker.
Marshmallow sticker?
The marshmallow sticker.
Yes, I have made a marshmallow sticker too. I'm fond of marshmallows and things that go into fire, so it's a natural progression.
I'm just, the word sticker is really, really good for marshmallow. It is. So with all these accomplishments and all the things that you were learning in blacksmithing, we would like to induct you into the Order of the Silver Birch.
Thank you, Your Majesties.
And to help you continue on your road of blacksmithing. There's Medallion. Excellent.
Thank you.
Do we have any special origins for the medallion?
Is there an origin for the medallion?
Well, it was made by our dear friend, Lady Kalick,
All right, fantastic.
whose last name I'm not going to try to pronounce.
Understand.
Thank you.
Wear it and know that you represent the order well and are someone others can look to for inspiration.
Thank you, Your Majesties.
You're most welcome.
Our kingdom is honored to have gentles who, with grace and mastery, craft works of art, inspiring some and awing many. One such man is honored today. He has shown his craft and continued growth in his skills. From humble S-hook to the mighty spear of Marshmallow Bane, he has worked his trade. So be it known that we, Tindal and Alberic, Consules of the East, do induct Declan Goba into our Order of the Silver Brooch, done at our 5th Ethereal Court, Anno Societatis 55. Words by Reinhardt de Spinner. Calligraphy and illumination by Malice McGregor.
For Declan, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Brooch. Vivat!
Vivat! Vivat!
Woo! Woohoo! Their Majesties call before them Millicent Rowan.
Hello.
Oh, I think I heard her. I think I did too. There she is. So, I have heard a tremendous amount about how fantastic your scribal work is.
Oh, thank you.
Where you kind of show your source inspiration kind of next to the piece that you're working on. That's a really cool thing to do.
And someone who's not afraid to take risks and try new styles, do different things, and also is willing to teach others.
That's really nice. I like your hat, by the way. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your hats are fantastic as well.
So how long have you been doing scribal work?
I started when I was living back in Untitled. I believe it's been 5 years. Does that sound right?
More than that.
Okay.
I've known you more than 5 years.
Good point. Somewhere between 5 and 7 years.
We've heard 6.
That sounds close.
6 is 1 5. So, as someone who is accomplishing great things, whose work is being admired and is contributing to the arts community of our kingdom, we would like to recognize you today by inducting you into our Order of the Silver Brooch.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Oh.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Unto all and singular who come by these presents, greetings from Tindal and Alberic, Consules Orientalis. The labor of a scribe is an arduous one that cramps the hand, bends the back, crushes the kidneys, and dims the eyes. Yet we know that Millicent Rowan has eagerly devoted many hours as a scribe and illuminator, documenting our word and adorning the manuscripts with magnificent decoration and portraiture. Our realm has been greatly enriched by Lady Millicent's labor and artistry, and we would recognize her this day by welcoming her into our Order of the Silver Brooch, with all the attendant honors and dignities, and she may openly display the badge of the order, purple, argent, and azure, a closed brooch counterchanged. Done at our 5th court in the 6th month of our reign, being January, Anno Societatis 55, the year of the Great Plague. Scroll by Harold von Auerbach.
For Millicent, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Brooch. Vivat!
Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
Their Majesties would call before them Arpadfin Vidor.
Good evening, Your Majesties. That's Vidor, by the way. Thank you.
How are you doing this evening, Vidor?
Doing very well, thank you.
You have been active in the thrown weapons community for a while, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I started long ago in the 90s in Callantyre and then took a long break from everything. But have been most recently, the last few years, been active here in the East.
And you are currently Stone March's thrown weapons champion?
That is correct.
And no small feat, also deputy marshal in charge for Harper's Rest.
Indeed.
And he's the current captain of the thrown weapons in Stone March.
Northeast region.
This is, I feel like, even with the gap, I feel like this is something I could say is overdue. You have shown a tremendous amount of skill and dedication to a community, and we have a method of recognizing that within the East, and we would like to induct you into our Order of the Silver Mantle.
Prudent wisdom devises that the content of things done legally be entrusted to the faithful memory of letters, lest the things that are done in time disappear in time. Therefore, by the content of the present letters, we wish to bring to the notice of all of you that Arpadfin Vidor is a noble man, possessed of excellent character and true virtue and loyalty, and that he has, through his prowess and diligence with axe and knife and spear, gained much favor in our eyes. As a mark of that favor, we, Tindal and Alberic, consuls of the Eastern Empire, do hereby invest and endow the said Vidor with the Order of the Silver Mantle of the East, to have and to hold the same with full rights, privileges, and accessories for the term of his life, as much as any other member of the aforenamed order. And so that no person with rash daring may claim ignorance of his worth or our favor, we further instruct, enact, and ordain that the said Vidor bear upon his person from this day forward the signal and badge of the aforementioned order, to wit, fieldless, a mantle argent. In memory and perpetual stability of which things, we have caused the present letters to be created and strengthened by the protection of our double signatures, done in the 55th year of the Society, being the first of our reign. Words by Mistress Alice McIntosh, calligraphy and illumination by Sage Elan de Janvier of Mountain Freehold.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. It, as I said, overdue, and it was a pleasure to be in the right place to recognize someone who has done so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
For Vidor, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Mantle.
Vivat!
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 Thank you.
Welcome.
His Majesty Alberic would require the presence of the Okujin of the Iron Skies.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
So, right, we've got to know each other over this past year, couple years, and we've done some excellent work together with trying to get together as Warlord for Penzic and doing all those other fabulous things for stuff that we couldn't do, but you actually continued inspiring the East. By doing your fireside storytelling and everything like that, I find it really, really inspiring to me. So this evening, I would like to give you my inspiration. You're an inspiration to me, and I find that you are an inspiration to the East with all of the uplifting things that you've been doing over these past few months.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to do so. Bourbon helps.
Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Cheers.
For Ryokujin of the Iron Skies, newest recipient of His Majesty's Token of Inspiration. Vivat!
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 Did you know that? No? I don't know.
I think we're supposed to be live right
That's
now.
all right. I'm
Maybe
just
they
going to
can
say,
hear us.
did you know that other people are doing things in the East that are not us?
I do. I've been watching our calendar quite rigorously about other local groups being able to put on their own virtual events.
And so that's all up on the East Kingdom calendar of events on the webpage?
It certainly is.
That's fantastic. I know that I'm looking forward to being able to get to some things that are not just us.
It'd be really nice. But we do have one big one coming up, which I believe is now posted to the East Kingdom calendar, and that is our Bardic Champions.
In April.
Yes.
That's going to be fantastic because I get to hear songs and stories and stuff.
Me as well.
And that is entirely virtual.
Completely virtual. So we're going to really enjoy having all of the entrants perform for us and us decide who our new Bardic Champions will be.
It's fantastic to be able to continue to move things forward, even ethereally. And I would encourage everyone in the East to go look at the Kingdom calendar on the website and find some things that maybe you would enjoy and would fit well into your schedule.
And now for some more awards.
Their Majesties would have before them Sig Torridson.
Good evening, Your Majesties.
Hello, how are you this evening?
Pretty good. How about yourselves?
I'm having a great time. So let's talk about you for a little bit. You are a heavy fighter, yes?
Yes, Your Majesty.
And a herald as well?
Yes, Your Majesty.
I have heard stories about two things I wanted to talk about. One was your efforts in building kits for new fighters.
That is correct.
And the other, and this is something that I really appreciate, is your work to make sure that we get names and pronouns correct for everyone. Did you also organize an online Viking school?
That is correct. We attempted to go 24 hours. We did not get so far as to get a 24. I think it was about 12 total hours of content and classes.
Wow, excellent. That is amazing.
Yeah. So we've talked about fighting, we've talked about art, we've talked about service. Those are the three pillars that hold up the SCA. I would say if you are showing passion and dedication in all three of those areas, you need to be recognized. And this evening we would raise you to the ranks of our nobility and award you arms.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
The truth of it follows these words. In great wisdom, the consuls of the East Kingdom speak of deeds from Eisenthal Sig, son of Tarad. Long have they spoke, the strong voice at the tiger's throne, and long have they held fast against forces of fierce foes. But they are known most for the way they lifted all through Shire's camps, and taught them the ways of the woods and the fires and the way of stone. Their name is on the wind of change that blows from our fair kingdom to those of our loved cousin kings, and it is for these reasons that we say, as the icy breath of Thori begins, to blow in strength and long in our memories are the bright sons of Solman Uther, that the marks laid here in our name shall be theirs in this world and the next. Words by Nicol McDonough, scroll by Quenthrith Wine.
It is a pleasure. It is easy.
It's really great to hear this kind of feedback from the kingdom to elevate you to a lord, and for the first time, Lord Sig.
For Lord Sig, newest Lord of the Eastern Court, Vivat!
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 Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
Conflict!
Their Majesties would see now before them Karl de Felschener.
Hello, Your Majesty.
Oh. You have been fighting for a while. I'm not going to ask how long.
A few years.
A few years.
Maybe 25.
Maybe 25. And in that 25 years, there isn't a weapons form you haven't taken up.
2 weapons still beats my butt, but other than that, I hold my own most of the time.
He's a marshal. He's marshaled for quite a long time as well as all of his other years of fighting.
I have, Your Majesty.
And I believe I've seen him marshaling at Great Northeastern War as well.
I have to take your word for that because I was supposed to go to Great Northeastern War this year and it was very disappointing. Not this year.
But talking about Karl, service to the fighting community on the field, years and years of becoming a better fighter, I would say long past due. And fortunately, we were here to be able to recognize you, and we would like to induct you today into our Order of the Silver Tiger.
Thank you very much, Your Majesties.
Our pleasure.
To all and singular nobles, heralds, and other persons unto whom these our letters shall come, greetings. Snow lies deep in the mountains of the east, and rude winds howl on our coast. But in our ethereal court all is bright, as we, Tindal and Alberic, Consules Orientalis, call forth Karl Faulkner to be recognized before the populace. All should know that at the humble request of our dear and faithful advisers, we have considered the skill of Lord Karl, and thus we are led by the high repute which attaches to his name on the field of combat, whether wielding sword, bow, or marshal's baton, to induct him into the Order of the Silver Tiger. And that this decree may be valid forever, we have ordered this document to be written and confirmed by the royal names signed below. Done in our 5th Ethereal Court of the Eastern Consuls, in Anna Societatis 55.
I look forward to crossing swords with you at some point in the future.
As soon as we can get some events.
For Karl, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Tiger, Vivat!
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 Their Majesties call before them Erwald Lecoudre, the Optimistic.
What? But I haven't done anything.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
Let's start with, in the before times, you used to host a regular weekly fighter practice.
Yeah.
And
in the now times, you host a virtual practice.
Up until, yes.
I know that there are a great number of Easterners who have benefited from your technique-focused workouts.
Really?
Yes. Beyond helping to keep people engaged, you're making people better. You are an asset to the fighting community now, before, and in the future. And looking forward to the future, we would like to mark you as someone who has had such a positive effect on the fighting community of the East and induct you into our Order of the Silver Tiger.
Holy!
That's what we wanted in court.
When tigers roar and the eastern banners call to arms, a great army takes to the field. With loyalty, honor, and a shared determination, the charge forward sounded by the drums of war. Without training, strength and endurance lack, and an army fails.
Even when the struggles were out of the realm of control, Ervald Lecoudre took to the ether, brought tigers together to keep them strong. When the horns and drums call again, the fierce will charge once more, with Ervald running as a companion of the Silver Tiger. So do we, Alberic and Tindal, Consules of the East, deem it during our 5th Ethereal Court Anno Societatis 55. Scroll forthcoming.
Okay, not expected, but thank you, Your Majesty.
Perhaps not expected, but well deserved and well earned.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here in this little apartment, and I'm going to a park. I'm going to a backyard full of mosquitoes. I'm sitting in my whatever place I can find just to do this, and I'm watching the little numbers of who's watching go up to 6 and down to 0 and then 2, and then as I'm going through, and I'm like, well, at least I'm having fun, you know? Yeah. So this is incredibly gratifying and highly surprising.
Well, it is our pleasure to get to recognize you, because when you're doing it, there are people watching.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
For Ervald, newest community to the Order of the Silver Tiger. Vivat!
Vivat!
Vivat! Vivat! Their Majesties request the presence of Cassius Pontianus.
Good evening, Your Majesties.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well.
So, normally when I am talking about fighting and I'm thinking about you, it's a stick. But let's talk about the sword. Let's talk about how you performed in the rapier pit at Burka. Well?
Well, last year I was busy manning someone's vigil, but the year before and the year before that, they went quite well.
Rose's tourneys at Penzic, but more importantly, someone who, and I can attest this firsthand, someone who is an earnest and passionate voice in the heavy community, that we are one army, that rapier is a crossover option that we should all be looking at, that it is a community we should be welcoming, and is a community we can be involved in and benefit from.
I've been pleasantly surprised about the lessons I've learned about timing and precision from the past few years in playing rapier, and I think both do a great job of making us better and making our army stronger.
I would agree. And so if we're talking about someone who is repeatedly showing excellence in skill, dedication to the community through advocacy, I think it's only fair that we recognize you as part of that community and someone in that community that has shown skill and excellence, and induct you into our Order of the Silver Rapier.
Sir Cassius Pontiatus, a knight of renown, as expected, fights the armored combat. Surprisingly, he has expanded his prowess to the fencing list as well, an earnest and passionate voice for rapier engagement among the heavy list community, championing crossover combatants, observing open-mindedness, enriching the experience, broadening the skill base of your fighting forces, fueling the fires in the hearts of your armies to reward us with war points, with more friendship and fun. Thus we, Tindal and Alberic, Consules of the East, bid Cassius Pontiatus join our Order of the Silver Rapier, accepting all rights and responsibilities thereon from during our 5th Ethereal Court, January Anno Societatis 55. Words by Slayan Ben Ronan, scroll by Fiona the Volatile.
Thank you very much. I'm truly honored.
It is a pleasure, and I look forward to,
And there's a medallion.
There's a medallion. All right, that's fantastic. And I was just going to say, I look forward to seeing you wear that medallion so that others can see the ties between success on the heavy field and success on the rapier field. Well done, sir.
Thank you very much, Your Majesties. I'm very honored.
For Cassius, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Rapier. Vivat!
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 Their Majesties call before them Sterling de la Rosa.
Yes, Your Majesties. At your service.
Sterling, we've received some very interesting reports from you, especially and also in the realm of rapier. I was very curious and very, well, the comment was you do not suck. So it is very interesting to hear this kind of stuff being reported back to us, especially in the field of rapier. So you do rapier very well. You did in the top 16 of rapier champs last year, and I know your comportment. I know all of the really good talents that you have, and rapier being one of them. So we would also like to induct you into the Order of the Silver Rapier this year.
Thank you, Your Majesties.
Unto those whom these tidings come, Consules Tindal and Alberic send greetings. Some of those who defend our eastern realm capably wield weapons on multiple fields of war. One such gentle is Sterling de la Rosa, who strikes fear into both friend and foe with his rapier, and who, exercising great skill, has bested many duelists in the lists. Because his talent is not displeasing to us, we are moved to induct him into the Order of the Silver Rapier at our 5th Ethereal Court, Anno Societatis 55. Scroll by Magdalena von Kirchberg.
You get two medallions.
And a medallion.
There's two medallions, Your Majesty, if I may have just one moment.
Oh, is there a legacy?
Can we hear about the medallion?
There are two medallions. One is the Tadcaster Household Medallion, because he is a member of Tadcaster. This, I think they can hear you. This medallion has been worn by every Tadcaster member who's been a Silver Rapier. It has been licked and sweated upon. So, enjoy.
Oh, great. Great. More plague.
You need to wear that with the joy. This, however, is a legacy medallion. This medallion was Donovan's, that was then passed to Anastasia, was then passed to Allison, who passed it to me, and she asked me to pass it to you. You're welcome. And welcome to the Order.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you, Your Majesties. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are most welcome. Wear them, lick them, sweat on them, enjoy them.
I'm not sure licking them at this present time would be a good idea, but I'll see what I can come up with.
I've only sweated on them for a year, so.
Do it, Sterling.
Medallion.
No.
For
Thank you all.
Sterling, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Rapier. Vivat!
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 Vivat! One of the greatest honors of being on the throne is getting to recognize noble people, especially those who have reached a point in their journey where they are going to become peers. We have been able to give out several writs with the support of the orders, and fortunately we are able to move forward virtually. We've seen a few virtual elevations so far. We have a fantastic coordinator on our staff who has been working to make sure that we are able to fulfill those writs, and it's been fantastic to see people kind of grab that opportunity and make it their own.
We have a few scheduled coming in our next ethereal courts, and they're going to to watch for other people out there for the East Kingdom to see.
And we had a unique opportunity with one of them because keeping the gathering small, not having to leave the state, we were able to actually go visit Coldwood to see to fruition the writ we had given to Olaf Haraldson.
Yes, and I like to point out that we did follow all the COVID rules in accordance with New York State CDC guidelines.
I am Olaf Gothi, Harold's son, companion of the Order of the Pelican, Order of the Tiger's Combatant, Order of the Silver Crescent. I come before you with 2 items of business today. May I approach, Your Majesties?
Please.
This is the Northern Army Tavern of Master Harald Olfsson, who recently left us. He has crossed the bridge and now feasts with Freya. I give this tavern to you to stay here at the inn at Coldwood as one of the relics that live here, that his spirit may be here to feast with us for many years to come.
Thank you so much for giving this. I know this would have meant a lot to Master Harald. I've known him for a very long time, and we also miss him. But he will live on in Coldwood through this.
The star of the Northern Army has guided many to victory. This is a powerful reminder of those that have fought under it for the East and as brothers on the field. My second order of business is that you pose to me a question of would I be willing to join the Order of the Chivalry? And I come here today to give you my answer. I am in service to the East, and this is how you have asked me to serve. So my answer is yes. I'm overjoyed to hear that answer. The chivalry are overjoyed to hear that answer. You will be a strong addition to this order. We grow in spirit, in heart, in prowess today. Before we continue, we would hear words from others that support this decision. Is there someone from the Order of the Laurel who will speak for this candidate?
I, Aethelitha, Leafwearer and Skald, will speak of Olaf Haraldsson in Orvi. Olaf is a worthy peer. We were advised on the same day, littermates in vigil with Brother Hrafen in the deep snows of winter. A man of service, Olaf has made an art of that service, as Olaf has made an art of warring. The wisdom of the Havamal speaks of living a worthy life. I often see Olaf in its words. Olaf knows how to carve, read, paint, prove, ask, offer, send, and sacrifice. I have watched him grow, thrive, and brighten in wisdom. Word following word, Olaf has wrought words, and deed following deed, Olaf has wrought deeds. It is said, let a man never stir on his road a step without his weapons of war. For unsure is the knowing when the need shall arise of a spear on the way without. Olaf fulfills this verse so well, making an art in such preparation. He is always at the ready, but not only at war, but also as a friend, the value of whom has been long known. An uncle to all good people, he returns friendship with generosity in battle and in hall alike. Olaf is my brother, Gothi, and peer. He is a servant, an artist, and a warrior. He does not need my recommendation to show his worth, but I am happy to give it. It is said that cattle die, kinsmen die, all humanity is mortal, but the words of praise will not die when a man wins fair fame. Olaf has won his fame through dedication, perseverance, and long service to both battle and the kingdom. It is a wise thing to bring him close to you and count him among the best of your warriors. The Order of Chivalry shall increase its word fame this day, should Olaf accept your offer. I thank you for hearing my words.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican that would speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, great populace of the East Kingdom, gentles from around the known world, I am Esgar at Frostchester, Master of the Laurel, Master of the Pelican, and I come to you today to speak as a Pelican for my friend Olaf Haraldsson. I have known Olaf for 2 decades, or more. I don't like to think about it. We have stood together on field and bridge, in wood and feast hall, in Marshall's tent. Olaf's service is well known. He is a Pelican. But today I would speak of a different form of service. Inspirational service. Olaf is a passionate fighter who does not compromise his kit or his weapon for expedience. His axe is a form of service to the East Kingdom, and may I say it is a service with a smile. I have watched Olaf year in and year out dealing blows to the enemies of the East, and this is a form of service. His service to the Marshalate has been recognized with his Pelican. His service to the Army, the Unbelt team, where we stood next to each other on more than one occasion, to fighting in the kingdom. This is what is being recognized today, and your Majesties, I humbly commend him to you. Olaf is and always will be my brother and my peer.
Is there a member of the Order of the Rose that will speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I am Duchess Evelina, Lady of the Rose, and it is my honor to speak for them. The Ladies of the Rose are given to speak to inspiration and courtesy. And I would say to you that Olaf inspires us by doing. I remember one time he was walking down the road at Penzek, and I saw him and his companions, and I said, "Don't you all just look like a perfect Viking family?" And then I found out later that evening that he was recognized with the then King's Order of Excellence. But it was just his doing. You would look at Olaf and say, I could do better. And he's so inspiring just by doing it. And his courtesy and his care and his love for the kingdom cannot be surpassed. Thank you, Your Majesties, for doing this.
Is there a member of the Order of Defense that would speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I am Master Antonio Petrasso, and I am privileged to speak today. As a member of the Order of Defense, I choose to speak to community, the contribution of the individual to making your kingdom better for all its citizens. And had the fates not conspired to keep me from Coldwood this year, I could point to actual evidence of Olaf's contribution to community, a true homestead that he has raised with his own 2 hands. Yet at the same time, that homestead is also a symbol of all the ways he has constantly worked to make the society a more welcoming and inclusive place for all of your citizens. For these reasons and so many more, I am privileged to say that he is my peer and well deserved of elevation chivalry today. Thank you.
Is there a member of the Order of Chivalry that will speak on this candidate's behalf?
May I take that honor this morning?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I am Sir Stephen Grandchamp. This man is my brother. He is a warrior, kindred spirit that I have known for decades. He is a just warrior. There is no hate, no anger in his defense of the East Kingdom, simply a great love of it and a love of our organization.
Thank you, sir.
Unto Tindal and Alberic, consuls of the East, and her glorious peoples, does Thorson send this happy missive. I've been tasked with the rather weighty responsibility of speaking for my order. In this case, it is a responsibility I take on with a lot of joy in my heart. For I have known Olaf since we were both pups, and this strong, sinewy wolf that you have in front of you is very dear to me. I think it's important that we understand that Olaf comes from the northern outpost. This is a land that is known for breeding a rather hearty type of person. And this has really helped Olaf create and grow into the person that we know and love. For him to be able to be as successful as he has been in that area, it requires a independent, highly motivated mindset. One that's comfortable with experimenting, finding new ways. This has not only served Olaf well, but it has served the East well. I recall that he took a long time to develop this technique that he uses when he's fighting. He doesn't have the same frame as the rest of us. He had more speed. He didn't have the weight to put behind things. So he picked up an axe, and that gave him enough weight. And he found that we were larger, we were slower. And he has turned into a very fierce fighter. Olaf, when he was asked what we could do in order to promote the age of mail, the way that other time periods were being promoted, he didn't talk about it. He just stepped up, axe in hand, and showed everyone the love in his heart for everything that he had. Now, many, many people, due to his example, have been brought into the banner of the East, carrying spear, carrying shield. They follow him and his example. He did this on his own. For that land up north, while it breeds mighty examples of people, they are few in number, as Alberic can attest. I think this, more than anything, shows his tireless and persistent efforts to bring glory to the East, to bring strength of arms to all of our fighters, to bring joy to the hearts of all those around him. And this is more than anything what I think Olaf does. He doesn't follow a path or well-known roads, because there's no roads up there. Nor does he just find a way to get there, but he creates a path. He pulls in others around him to make it smoother and wider and more accessible, so that people will know the joy and love that he has found with the axe and the tiger banner. This is most knightly. So it is thus, my liege consuls, that I ask to show that you do the right thing and recognize in this man what is already there, a worthy addition to the Order of Chivalry. Thank you, and in service.
Well spoken. Well supported as a candidate. I've heard from you the answer yes.
Will you be taking a belt or a baldric today?
A belt, Your Majesties.
Will someone come forth with the belt? Is there significance to this item?
So this belt was made by a member of our household. His name is Justin, and he bled making this belt because he loves this man.
It is the task of a knight to lead an army into battle. The symbol of that is the spur. Are there spurs? Wear these as a strong, kind, and capable leader. Is there a weapon that Sir Olaf could carry forward onto the field to defend the East and bring glory?
Yes, that is the axe given to my former squire upon his elevation, Sir Hayden. He is passing it on to Olaf.
Is there a change?
Is there a lineage to the chain? It is from Brian.
Sir Brian McShane.
Sir Brian McShane.
We would hear an oath.
I'm Olaf Gothe, Harald's son. Here do I pledge my fealty to the crowns of the East and those who wear them. In war and in peace, by axe and by hand, I will do service. This is my oath. To the hour of my death, to the crowns passed from your head, or to the world's ending.
I, Albert von Rostock. And I, Magnus Tindal. Hear your words and know them to be true. And for our part, we will depend upon your arm. We will seek your counsel. You will have a place at our hearth in times of peace and war. You will know the protection of the crown. Until they leave our heads or the world ends. So say I, Albert von Rostock.
And I, Magnus Tindal.
Your oath has been fulfilled. I dub thee once for honor and fairness. I dub thee twice for prowess and service. And I dub thee thrice a knight. Rise. You stand a member of the chivalry. This shall be the last blow you receive unanswered.
Your Majesties, I am your knight.
The East is better today.
East!
It is with great joy in my heart to see you a knight this day. The inn holds a significance to not only you, but to many of the East. And it is a pleasure to see you become a knight.
Well, as we draw near to the end of court, and I'm reminded of how cold it was in Coldwood, I would like to thank those who worked so diligently on our torchlit set that kept us warm throughout this entire time. Of course, the Honorable Lord John Fitzthomas,
Lady Jenna,
Lady Tabitha DeLund,
Elena the Blue,
Baron G. Emerson True, as well as
our lovely outfits in Byzantine by the Honorable Lady Astrid.
And I know that she had a tremendous amount of help on the research and the design from Margarisa Ana Dokalina Siracasarina, I believe.
Say that 3 times fast.
I can't say it once slowly.
They did an excellent job doing the research on our guard.
They did. Now
and your name is fabulous.
And so it's the guard. It's fantastic. But I did promise everyone, if they stuck around till the end, additional opportunities for largesse. The link is on the event announcement page for this court on the EK website.
And if you could have guessed the word, it would be fire.
Fire. The
Fire.
secret word is fire. Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us. It is Happy New Year, and we look forward to another few months of getting to interact with the kingdom this way.
Please make sure to check the EK webpage for upcoming events and everything that's going on with the East that we can do virtually. And it is my hope to one day be able to see and hear everyone interact in person once again. Thank you for joining us this evening.
There being no further business, herein closes the 5th Ethereal Court of the Consules of the East.